Hey everyone, it is day 4 of Vlogmas. It is Sunday and it is Camden's birthday today, which is very exciting. We don't have too much planned. It's not going to be a super exciting day, but we are planning on going out for dinner of his choice tonight. That's kind of a birthday tradition around here. Although he did say that if James wasn't feeling good enough to go out, he didn't want to go out. So then we will order in. We'll see how the day goes, but it is Sunday and I love Sundays. I am doing my usual reset routine. I've got laundry started for the week. I'm doing a big tidy up, so just picking up stuff that has accumulated around the house all week long. Even Glenn was doing a little bit of a tidy up this morning. Just kind of picking up the house and getting ready for a new week ahead. I've also got quite a bit of work I want to get done in the studio today, which is not really the usual for me on a weekend, but there's just been so much going on lately that I'm really trying to get a head start on the week, because Monday morning, bright and early, I have some packing up of orders to do and some shipping, and I really just want to be prepared and have my studio in a good space by then. I've been starting to make to-do lists nonstop. I feel like it is that time of year to have a notebook and just write a list for what needs to get done. And I really like doing it not just for the day, but I kind of set up a list for every day, and I'm going to do that today. I'm going to set up a list for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and just spread out all of the things that need to get done. There's Christmas shopping lists that need to happen and baking lists and all of that good stuff. I feel like this is the time to start making lists. In the meantime, I have been squeezing in some knitting and really enjoying it. I caught up on my Advent socks by the Cozy Knitter. I've been dreaming about knitting, printing off patterns, and just making plans for the month ahead. I have a whole bunch of bags in my studio that I want to empty and just get organized and ready to grab projects and knit any time I can squeeze in. So I have some knitting projects I want to share with you, and then maybe later I will take you along for dinner out for Camden's birthday and just a quiet celebration with the 4 of us tonight. I managed to carve out some knitting time yesterday in the afternoon, in the evening, and first thing this morning. I was working on my Advent socks, and it just got me thinking about all of the knitting projects I've been thinking and on Ravelry and dreaming about what I can cast on next. And I found a couple of things that I want to cast on or continue with using 2 of my Advent calendars. The first one is for my Chelsea Yarns Advent calendar, along with the Advent. Christina included a little card that had a promo code for a December 1st release of a new pattern that was designed by Shayna Billow to be used with this Advent calendar. And I just got a chance to look it up this morning and print it off, and it is beautiful. I'm pretty sure there are 2 sizes of it, so you can do a smaller one or a larger one. It is so pretty. If you are looking for this pattern, it is on the Chelsea Yarns pattern page on Ravelry. It's described as a cozy, squishy, oversized bandana cowl to be used with the Chelsea Yarns Advent. So I've got all of the little pieces here, And I've got 2 skeins of the Surrey alpaca in the color First Snow. And I think, I haven't really sat down and looked at the pattern too closely, but I think you hold the Surrey alpaca, I'm not sure if it's with 1 strand or 2 strands, but basically you are going to use all of your little minis from your advent calendar. And mine in this year's calendar are on the Stellina base, which I think is so pretty and festive. And even if I am not knitting every single day with the mini, I feel like this is a really fun holiday project that I can start now, just every couple days, put in one of the minis and maybe continue through January. I think it would be a beautiful piece to kind of highlight or just showcase one advent calendar. I know there are so many things that you can do with your minis, and I do love to have a stash of them to use like in socks for toes and cuffs or just randomly here and there. But I also really like the idea of taking one entire advent and using it in one project. I don't know why, if it's just that it sort of showcases that year or the collection of minis. A lot of times when you get an advent calendar, the dyer has kind of created a story around it and they look beautiful together. So I think that's what I want to do with this one. No, I know it is. So I've got a few of the bits and pieces here to start pulling that together. I need to find a little basket or something that I can start winding up the minis and adding them to. And I think this is going to be so much fun. So that is the après-ski pattern to use with my Chelsea Yarns Advent. And I have been thinking about a Homespun House Advent and what I want to do with those minis. And a Homespun House, the dyer behind that is Molly. And Molly Klatt has this beautiful pattern, the Cozy Comfort Throw, that I cast on a couple of years ago. So I just found the basket. It is so beautiful. It's simple and squishy garter stitch where you are using your minis held together with whatever skein. One color preferably so that it kind of flows through the whole project. I'm using an undyed yarn that I think looks really pretty. So I think this is what I want to do with my minis from the Homespun or a Homespun House Advent this year. The only thing I am trying to figure out is if I'm just going to continue it or if I want to start it over, because like I mentioned, I really love when you have one advent calendar in one project. So I don't know if that's being too extra of me to start fresh, but I do love a clean slate. It's kind of like when you get the start of a new year, you want a new planner or a new sketchbook. You feel like you need a clean slate, and I might do that. I could keep this one and put it away for a rainy day sometime in the future if I want to do another one because it's so beautiful. I have a feeling that's what I'm going to do. So the Cozy Comfort Throw is what I'm going to be knitting with a Homespun House Advent this year. And then I still have the other 2, but I think I'm going to wait for those. I've got my Camijo. I thought it was Camijo, but someone told me it was pronounced Camijo. I think I'm going to wait and see what these look like as I open them to determine if there's a project I want to do, but I also think they're so gorgeous. They might be fun, scrappy socks. This is also on a Stellina base, which is really festive and beautiful. And then Dandelion and Dogwood definitely has a theme to it, and I love what's happening here. They are super soft. I don't know if there's like a gradient happening yet. I will see as I progress, but I'm already feeling inspired by these colors and thinking about spring and summer So we will see what happens as I open these. I feel like this is going to be something beautiful. It could even be a garment. I've always wanted to do kind of like a scrappy sweater. Amy has some beautiful patterns on Ravelry. There is a sweater of hers that I actually have Dandelion and Dogwood yarn set aside for. I'll share that with you when I go upstairs and pull out some of my knitting. But it would also make a great project using this advent calendar. So we will see how this one plays out and this one plays out, and I'm going to get this project kind of set up in a basket or a bag to start soon. And then also the Cozy Comfort Throw. So I've got 2 new projects. I don't want to cast on too much, but I feel like with the holiday season, these are approved. Let's have a little knitting update. You may have seen this morning while I was enjoying my coffee that I've caught up on my Cozy Knitter Advent socks. I feel like all is right in the world again now that I am up to date. So I have both of the socks started. I've got the rib cuffs done, and days 1, 2, 3, and 4 are done on both of them. I feel so much better now that I can start my morning fresh each day and just knit 1 or 2 stripes a day. If I do 1 a day, I'm good, but I think I might even try to push through the next week and do a little bit extra so that by the time I get to the heels, I won't fall behind again. It's so much fun. I'm really excited about some of the colors I can see in here. And one little tip about leather scissor sheaths, if you have them from my shop. I was using this little green leather sheath on my needles. I had to switch it out because I used to use this one on a pair of scissors, and leather normally stretches and adapts to whatever it's around, just like your shoes would. And because I used something a little bit larger in here, they're not quite gripping the needles. So I'm just going to put this back on the scissors that I was using it on. And when I have leather sheaths for needles, that's all I'm using them for. So it's just a little tip in case you notice yours are stretching out. I definitely wouldn't go from using them on something larger and then trying to use them on your needles because they will fall off. I've only ever used these red ones on my needles for sock knitting, and so I've never had a problem, and they won't stretch out any more than that. So that is my Advent sock in a very good place. I'm so pleased about that. And I started to pull out a few things to get my knitting bag organized. This is the bag I really like to keep on the main floor, and I just put whatever project bags I want to pick up and work on here and there in this bag, along with, I've got a Notions pouch, which is one of my other little zip pouches. I've got a journal, which is one that I don't use often, but I really like to have a piece of paper, a pen, and a pencil close at hand so that if I happen to be reading a book while I'm sitting in the front room knitting, or if I want to take a note from a podcast or just anything, I have a piece of paper nearby, and I really like to just pick this up and make a few notes here and there. It's also good if you want to take notes for a knitting project and you don't have a piece of paper. And then the only other thing I have in here is one of my clutches with the denim on it. I love these things. I just keep pretty much everything that I could ever want to put in a tote bag in this bag. And so if I'm going out for like a whole day somewhere, if we've got soccer games outside, or if I'm going to a friend's for the day, I will load up one of my tote bags and this will just move into that bag. So in here, I have things like hand cream, measuring tape, there's a little notebook in here, nail file, I've got my portable battery, a Tide stick, deck of cards. It's just kind of like my catch-all. I've got Band-Aids, wipes for my glasses,
It's my mom bag. So this can just easily move from whatever bag to whatever bag I want to use, and I love it. Then I have this project here, which I'm loving. This was actually my birthday cast on. It's a beautiful project from Clinton Hill Cashmere. I got a good start on it, and then I kind of slowed down because things just got really busy this fall. This is called the Ridgeway Capelet, and it is a pattern from Clinton Hill Cashmere, and I'm also using their beautiful cashmere yarn. I don't want to forget about this one, so I think it's just going to get tied up in this little bunny bag and tucked into this tote bag for whenever I have time, because right now my knitting priority, I really want to work on this one. This is in one of my new carry-all bags. This is my Wave of Change jacket. I really love this sweater. I haven't knit a garment in a very long time, probably since last winter. I can't remember. And I started this a while ago, and I keep slowing down on it, but it is a really fun project that knits up super quickly. And I just need to devote a little bit of time to get this finished. I have one of the front facings, or the plackets, done. And it didn't take long to do this at all. And so I really just want to get my needles, pick up the stitches on the other side, get that done so that I can move on to sleeve knitting. I actually enjoy sleeve knitting, and this bulky weight yarn knits up so fast, and it is a lot of fun to work with. It's gorgeous. This yarn is from my friend Amanda, Sweet Skein of Mine, and this color is called Pass the Merlot. So this is my priority because I have other garments that I really want to knit this winter, and I don't want to cast them on until this is pretty much done, or maybe until I'm even on that last sleeve, because I feel like at that point I could cast on another one. I would be so close to being done. But these are the two projects that I have been wanting to cast on for quite some time, and they definitely need to get on my needles soon. One of the garments that I've been itching to cast on for quite some time is the Putney sweater by Amy Loudon of Tailoress Studio. Amy is one half of the dyeing duo behind Dandelion and Dogwood Yarn Co. And this is the beautiful yarn that I've had sitting here in this basket, just waiting for me to cast it on. It's in the Merino DK in the color Rosewood, which I'm quite obsessed with. I even have the bag just waiting for the project to be put into. And here is the sweater. It is exactly the style that I want in a handmade sweater. I believe Amy designed this to kind of be the same silhouette and feel as a sweatshirt, but in a hand knit, and I think it's stunning. I love the shorter sleeves. I think she has variations for the sleeve in the pattern, but it's just the perfect silhouette. I can see making a few of these at some point, but this is the color that I am starting with, and the more that time seems to be slipping away from me, I am actually thinking that this would be a great New Year's project. I feel like the color would be perfect for the new year, and I could be knitting on this for the first couple of months of next year and still have time to wear it, because our winter and cold weather lasts pretty much well into March and April here, and I think it just would be a really nice New Year's knit. So that's what I'm thinking about this project. It's definitely still in the dream knitting phase, but it's high up there in my queue. Another garment that I am really excited to make, and the closer I get to finishing my Wave of Change jacket, the more I keep thinking about this, because I have been wanting to knit a vest for quite a while. I think a couple of years, but this year in particular, I've been seeing so many adorable vests put over beautiful blouses. And when I was on Ravelry not too long ago, I spotted this pattern by Petite Knit. It's the Stockholm Slipover, and it's exactly what I was thinking about and looking for. I think the way that she has styled it is perfect, and I also feel like it would make a great Christmas Day sweater. The color is gorgeous. This yarn is so beautiful. I was actually contacted by a lovely person at John Arbonne Textiles asking me if I wanted to try out this new weight base of their Yarnadelic yarn. And when I had a look at their Instagram and saw some of the photos of it, and then I looked at the colors online, I emailed them back right away and said, absolutely, I have the perfect project in mind. And I picked out a color, and it was really difficult because look at these colors. I was really torn between that English Sparrows green and some of these turquoise blue colors or teals. They're all so pretty. I can definitely see myself going ahead and making more garments in this in the future. It is stunning. The color has so much depth in it, and the hand feel is super soft. I think I was expecting it to be a little more rustic, but when you feel it, it is not rustic at all. It is super soft and squishy and just perfect. It is 100% Falklands Corriedale, and this is a light Aran weight. They already had this in a sport weight, but this is a light Aran worsted weight, and I think it's going to be perfect for this vest. I'm so excited about it, and all of the colors in this range are inspired by music. I really love that. The yarn is made from a breed that is around 100 years old and was derived by crossing the Merino and Lincoln long wool. And I also loved reading that they ensure the animals have been treated with the utmost care. So I'm really looking forward to casting on a new project this month. This is what I'm hoping it will be. I really want this vest for Christmas Day. And I feel like it's possible if I can get my Wave of Change jacket completed in the next week or so, which is doable if I am just really strategic about carving out some knitting time, then I will be able to start this vest this month and even possibly have it for Christmas or the new year. We just had an Amazon delivery and I wanted to share it with you. I have so much trouble finding Hershey's chocolate syrup here in Canada. I've seen it at one of my grocery stores, but I went to look for it last week, couldn't find it. The only other place I've seen it is to order it from a specialty candy shop here in the city, but it's like $12 or $13 for one really small bottle. I think it's because they're importing it. So I went to the Amazon website yesterday searching for it, thinking maybe I will find something. And so instead of buying a $13 small bottle of Hershey's syrup from a specialty shop, I spent $20 and got this. I know it is ginormous, but I couldn't resist. I think it will be perfect to make our hot chocolates this winter. I use the milk frother to froth up the milk. I'll put a little bit of chocolate syrup in it, and if I want to flavor it with the orange or mint syrup that I use in my coffee, we can have flavored hot chocolates. This is perfect. And I have a fridge in the basement, so I think I will just take an empty jar, put some in it for this fridge, and then store this big, massive tub in the basement fridge. And while I was on Amazon, of course, other things pop up as recommendations, and I saw this next item, and I thought it would be the perfect little treat for Camden and that I would give it to him on his birthday. He loves all things peanut butter, including Reese's peanut butter cups. And they had this syrup that you can drizzle on sundaes. I thought it would be perfect. I had no idea that it would be this big. Oh my gosh, I feel like I should have a restaurant. It looks really good, but I don't know. This jar is massive. It says it's great for baking, toppings, marinades, and shakes. What on earth would you marinate in Reese peanut butter sauce? I'm so confused. I'll have to research this. This looks really interesting. But the size of it, oh my gosh. So that is what we have. We can make sundaes. Maybe I could make him, I could put this in shakes. That would be really interesting for him. He might like that, like milkshakes. So that is my little Amazon haul. I need to find a space for this. I do not have a very big kitchen. This is going to be a challenge.
You have enough. Do it. Make it the other side. I'm pretty amazed. And the red one's gonna appear.